Find the inverse of the one-to-one function f of x equals 4 minus x squared for x greater than or equal to 0. This is a quadratic whose graph is a parabola. Since the coefficient in front of the term negative x squared negative, so we have a parabola concave down. But this function is being restricted to the domain where x is only greater than or equal to 0. And this piece is 1 to 1. It passes the horizontal line test and the vertical line test. To find the inverse, we first set f of x equals y and rewrite the equation y equals 4 minus x squared. We then isolate x. To isolate x, we add x squared to both sides of the equation to obtain x squared plus y equals 4. And then we isolate x squared by subtracting y from both sides of the equation to get x squared equals 4 minus y. X is therefore plus or minus the square root of 4 minus y. The question is now, which piece do we use to obtain the inverse? Now, x is given positive only, so we cannot use the negative piece. Therefore, we replace x with y and y with x to get y equals positive the square root of 4 minus x. We then replace y with f inverse of x to obtain the inverse function for the given one-to-one function. It is worth pointing out that if the restricted domain were x less than or equal to 0, or the left part of this graph, then the inverse would have been f inverse of x equals negative the square root of 4 minus x instead of the positive, because we want x to be negative if, again, this restricted domain was x less than or equal to 0. But in this case, the restricted domain is that x has to be 0 or positive. That is why we choose the positive square root of 4 minus x instead of the minus.